viewers to RTD's News English Edition. As usual, we'll begin tonight's news with the major in top highlights. Let's follow. Launch of the project for the fight against climate change in 23 African countries, conducted by the Ministry of the Environment. And on the international scene in Libya, UN condemns killing of 15 migrants. Those were our major top highlights. Welcome back to our newsroom, our beloved viewers. The Brotherly Kingdom of Saudi Arabia has expressed its strong condemnation of the terrorist attack against Djibouti forces committed by a terrorist group, which caused the death and injury of some Djiboutian soldiers. The kingdom affirmed through a statement issued by the Ministry of Foreign Affairs its total rejection of all forms of violence, terrorism, and extremism, stressing its solidarity with the government and people of Djibouti in this painful incident. The Kingdom of Saudi Arabia also expressed its sincere condolence to the families of the deceased, wishing a speedy recovery to the injured. The state of Kuwait also firmly condemns the terrorist attacks which targeted our armed force and set up in Garbitisan in the Tajura region, leading to death and injuries. In a release issued this afternoon by the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, Kuwait and the United Arab Emirates expressed their condemnation of these criminal and terrorist attacks. The United Arab Emirates firmly condemns the terrorist attacks that targeted our armed forces set up in Garbitisan in the Tajura region, killing and injuring. In a statement issued today by the UAE Ministry of Foreign Affairs and International Cooperation, the United Arab Emirates expresses its condemnation of these criminal and terrorist attacks. The statement added that the United Arab Emirates also expressed its sincere condolence to the President of the Republic, Mr. Ismail Omar Guelleh, his government, and the brotherly people of Djibouti, as well as to the families of the victims of this heinous crime, wishing a speedy recovery to the wounded. For its part, the Arab Republic of Egypt has strongly condemned the terrorist attacks on the troops installed in Garbitisan in the region of Tajura. In a statement issued by the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, the statement said that the Arab Republic of Egypt stands by the Republic of Djibouti while sending their deepest condolence to the families of the victims and wishing a speedy recovery to the injured. The Ministry of Women and Family proceeded this morning a ceremony of rehabilitation of the room of the Daycare Center of Social Action for the Empowerment of Women, KAZAF. The ceremony was chaired by the Minister of Women and Family, Mrs. Muna Usman Aden, accompanied by the Ambassador of Turkey in Djibouti, Mr. Salim Levent, and in the presence of the coordinator of TICA, Mr. Mustafa Butun, the Director of KAZAF, Mrs. Nim'a Yunus, and officials of the Ministry of Women. The daycare center of KAZAF was renovated and equipped by the Turkish Cooperation and Coordination Agency, which is also known in short as TICA. Indeed, the Ministry of Women and the Ambassador of Turkey visited the room of the daycare center of KAZAF. In his speech, the Ambassador of Turkey praised the crucial role of the Center of Social Action for the empowerment of women in favor of women communities, and more particularly for the empowerment of women. The Ministry of Women and Family, Muna Usman Aden, thanked the Turkish Ambassador in Djibouti and TICA for their permanent support in the rehabilitation of this room, which coincided with the school break. The Center for Leadership and Entrepreneurship hosted this Monday morning the launch of the project Djibouti Crowd Growth Funding with the aim of setting up participatory financing. On the same occasion, the opening ceremony of the workshops and exchange on the regulation, the ecosystems, and the strategic and financial partners of growth funding also took place. The workshop that are organized will promote the establishment of a platform of participatory finance that will have for vocation the financial inclusion in the financing via the innovation as well as the technology in the participatory finance of the SMEs and the startups operating in Djibouti. The launching ceremony of the Djibouti Crowd Fund project was attended by the Ministry of Digital Economy, Madam Mariam Hamadou, the Minister of Higher Education, Mr. Nabil Mohammed Ahmed, the Minister in charge of Investment, Safia Mohammed Gadile, the Director General of the Sovereign Wealth Fund of Djibouti, Dr. Salim Fernari, and other representatives of civil society. During his speech, the General Manager of the Sovereign Fund of the Djibouti recalled the ins and outs of the crowdfunding project, which is a project of capital importance for young project holders and entrepreneurs to access financing. Following the terrorist attack orchestrated in Beledweyne by the group Al-Shabaab, which caused the death of 2 Djiboutian soldiers and some injured, the Ministry of Defense, the senior staff of the Djiboutian Army, including the Chief Major General of the Army, General Zakaria Sheikh Ibrahim, and the families of the deceased went this morning to Ambuli International Airport for a national tribute to the memory of Djiboutian soldiers who fell in the area of operation. for their service to the homeland and for their sacrifices in Somalia as part of the peacemaking operation for our Somali brothers. The Chief of Staff awarded each of the two soldiers the Medal of Valor, which will be pinned on the cushion placed on each coffin. Each soldier was also posthumously awarded a rank. The entire Djiboutian army bows to the bravery of these two soldiers who died in Somalia. They died for all of us, they declared in a heavy and formal atmosphere. It was not omitted to make the dua due to them. May Allah accept them. The bodies of the two soldiers are carried one last time by their brothers in arms to the escort that will take them to the cemetery of PK12, where they will be buried forever among their own. May Allah welcome them in His eternal paradise. Amen. Moving on, still in the context of the national news, as part of the preparation of the Green Climate Fund, the Ministry of Environment and Sustainable Development, in collaboration with the associates, organized this morning at the Sheraton Hotel a workshop to launch the project entitled Accelerating the Financing and Implementation of Low Carbon and Climate Resilient Priorities in Agriculture and Energy for Agriculture in 23 African countries. Recall that this VCF Readiness Project is part of the African Regional Program that aims to double the mobilization of adaptation financed by African countries by 2025 for their urgent priorities and to implement at least one regional program addressing critical sectors of African economies, with a focus on agriculture and energy-related initiatives. The program will focus on 4 objectives, including providing each country with an individual assessment of its climate change, preparedness, building a pipeline of projects in the agriculture and energy sectors of agriculture, developing a financing strategy, and supporting resource mobilization efforts. Participated in this event, in addition to the Secretary General of the Ministry of Environment, the local consultant, NGO EVA, and other associations. Following a huge wear load that caused a major incident on the 230 kV line, this huge wear line blew away a conductor of one phase of the 230 kV line feeding Djibouti towards the pole of the other 63 kV line feeding the regions of Ali Sibih and Dakhil. The EEP team in charge of the operation on the Ethiopian side and the EDD team has reinforced by the EEP team on site since the repair of this type of incident requires the intervention of 2 specialized teams, and therefore the work lines and the repair of the damaged one has been restored. Under the high patronage of the Secretariat in charge of sports, the Djibouti Badminton Federation organized yesterday morning a vote to designate the new president of the Djibouti Badminton Federation after 4 years. At the head of the federation, Mr. Musa Dahar Khairi was the only candidate competing for his succession and was anonymously reviewed by the elective General Assembly. The elected president thanks the General Assembly and the presidents of the clubs who renewed their confidence and suggests that it will be at the service of the talented Djiboutian youth of the game of badminton. This vote was attended by Balif, the head of sport department, and the secretary in charge of sports, the technical directors of the Djibouti National Olympic and Sports Committee, the member of the board of the Djibouti Federation of Badminton, and finally the presidents of clubs. Like the capital in other regions of the interior, the people of the region of Arta celebrated the birth of the Prophet Muhammad, peace and blessing of Allah be upon him. In addition to the follow-up of the night vigils rich in hadith and qasaid, organized in the different districts of the Arta region and the sub-prefectures, the official ceremony of the religious event took place in the prefecture of Arta. The ceremony commemorating this sacred festival was attended by the Minister in charge of Sports, Mr. Hassan Mohammed, the Prefect of the Arta region, Mr. Muhammad Sheikho, the President of the Regional Council of Arta, the local elected officials, the ulamas, the customary sages, the youth of the Arta region. Let's follow. Moving towards the international scene now, 15 bodies of migrants, some of them burned, were discovered on Friday on the coast of Saparta, 70 kilometers from the capital of Tripoli. Let's follow.
Body of migrants, some of them prone, were discovered on Friday on the coast of Sabratha, 17 kilometers from the capital Tripoli. An important departure of 24,000 of people who seek each year to reach the Italian coast. 11 short bodies were found inside a moored boat, and 4 other bodies within chairs were found outside, Manila say in a statement. Although the exact circumstances have yet to be determined, the killing are believed to have been the result of armed clash between rival traffickers, say the UN, which urged Libyan authorities to ensure a prompt, independent and transparent investigation to bring all perpetrators to justice.
North Korea said Monday that it has simulated tactical nuclear strikes in the past 2 weeks, personally supervised by leader Kim Jong Un. Let's follow.
North Korea said Monday that it had simulated a tactical nuclear strike in the past 2 weeks, personally supervised by leader Kim Jong-un, in response to what it said was a military threat posed by United States and its allies in the region. The Pyongyang regime has conducted 7 ballistic missile launches since September 25, including one that flew over Japan for the first time since 2017, and the international community expects North Korea to conduct a nuclear test soon, which will also be a first in 5 years.
Well, by this, our blood viewers, we finally conclude this edition. Thank you for being with us, and make sure to tune in later for more. Have a wonderful evening. Thank you. Take care.